All right, let's get right into it. For years, we've all been taught that workplace safety is all about rules, procedures, and a whole lot of paperwork. But what if that whole way of thinking is, well, just plain wrong? Today, we're going to unpack the psychology of what really keeps people safe at work. And I'll tell you right now, the answer probably isn't what you think. It has nothing to do with that giant binder sitting on a shelf.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? Think about it. Companies spend a fortune on safety programs. We've got checklists for our checklists. We do toolbox talks every single morning. We have permits for pretty much everything. And yet, people still get hurt. Badly. If all these systems we've built were actually working, wouldn't accidents be a thing of the past by now? Something's obviously not adding up.
And that brings us to this idea called the safety illusion. This is basically the trap we've fallen into. We've gotten really good at creating safety systems that look perfect on paper. They make us feel like we're in control, but they often have a major disconnect from what's actually happening out there on the floor.
It really breaks down into two totally different worlds. So on one side, you've got what we call paper safety. You know the drill. Checklists, permits, procedures. It's all about compliance. But then you have human safety, and this is about awareness, snap decisions, and actually talking to each other. The illusion fools us into obsessing over the paper, when our actual survival depends entirely on the people.
So, let's talk about that human reality. Why do these perfect on-paper systems fall apart in the real world? Well, the answer is kind of simple. Because they're being used by human beings. And you know what? We aren't robots. We don't work in some perfect, predictable lab. And that leads us to the real reasons things go wrong.
Look, here's the thing you've got to get. Accidents almost never happen because somebody didn't know a rule. They happen because of real life. Things like fatigue after pulling a 12-hour shift, pressure from a supervisor to just get it done, now. A simple distraction, a text from home or your mind wandering. And maybe the most dangerous one of all, that fear of speaking up when something just doesn't feel right. No checklist in the world can plan for that stuff.
And this is where it all comes back to culture. The vibe of a workplace is the real safety system. If the unspoken rule from the top is that speed is more important than safety, guess what? People will cut corners. If bringing up a concern makes you look like a troublemaker, people are going to stay silent. That environment, that is the root cause.
And the price we pay for this kind of culture isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. It's measured in real injuries and sometimes in lives. I want to tell you a quick story. It's the kind of thing that happens way too often, and it shows you exactly what's on the line.
So it all starts with that feeling. You know, that little voice in your head, that gut instinct we've all had? A worker on a job had that feeling. Something just felt off. His internal alarm system, which, by the way, is the most advanced safety tool on the planet, was screaming at him. It was telling him, stop.
But then he looked around. Objectively, everything seemed fine. The equipment checks were done, all the permits were signed, the whole paper safety system was giving a big green light. So his brain started telling him, hey, your gut must be wrong. Everything is officially safe.
And right there, in that moment, he made a decision. He decided to trust the paperwork more than he trusted himself. He just pushed that feeling down and he stayed quiet. He didn't want to be that guy who stops the whole job for what might be no good reason.
It was just a few minutes later that his gut feeling was proven right, in the most tragic way possible. An incident happened. A coworker got hurt. The perfect paperwork did absolutely nothing to stop it, but a single human voice could have. That right there is the devastating cost of silence.
Okay, I know that's heavy. That's the problem. But the good news is, the fix isn't another 500-page procedure manual. Real safety, the kind that actually keeps people from getting hurt, is way simpler and way more human than all that. It just comes down to a few basic behaviors.
I like to think of them as the 4 pillars of real safety. Number 1, look out for each other. Simple as that. Your buddy is your best safety gear. Number 2, speak up. Even when it's awkward, especially when it's awkward. That gut feeling is priceless information. Number 3, have the guts to stop the job. No deadline is more important than someone's life. And finally, number 4, always ask yourself, does this piece of paper make sense for what we're doing right here, right now? We have to connect the paper world to the real world.
And hey, for any of you out there who are supervisors, managers, leaders of any kind, listen up. This one is absolutely crucial. Your team isn't really watching what you write in an email. They are watching what you do when you walk the floor. If you walk right past a hazard without saying a word, you've just set the new, lower standard. But if you stop and listen when someone raises a concern, you build a culture of safety right there on the spot. Your behavior is the real policy.
So as we start to land the plane here, I just want to bring this all back to the one thing that truly, deeply matters. It's so easy to get lost in the metrics, the compliance, the systems. We can forget why we're even having this conversation in the first place.
See, real safety isn't about getting to a zero incident rate on a chart. That's just a result. Real safety is a mindset. It's a constant state of awareness of what's going on around you, and it's a genuine sense of care for the people you work with. It's about being present, not just perfect.
Because at the end of the day, all of this, every single checklist, every safety meeting, every decision we make, it all boils down to something incredibly simple and personal. It's about making damn sure that every person on your crew gets to go home to their family in one piece. That's it. That's the only metric that really counts.
So I want to leave you with this one last thought. It's a shift in how we see things. Safety isn't a task you do, like filling out a form. It's part of who you are. It becomes part of your identity at work. It's how you see the world, and it's how you look out for the people around you. It's an active, personal commitment every single day.
So the question I want you to take with you to work tomorrow is this. Are you just going to follow the safety rules on the page? Or are you going to be the one who embodies the awareness, the care, and the courage to be safety for yourself and for everyone on your team? The choice you make could change everything.